DR fam, how is everybody? Hope everybody had a great day right before the weekend. And didn't do a video last night. FOMC really kind of just wrecked the day for everybody almost. We had some movement right around 2 o'clock, right on in the DR zone. As far as confirmations and things like that. And yeah, I could have taken a chance at it, but it wasn't worth it. So it let it play itself out and, live to fight another day. I did take a couple of quick scalps, so some points, but they weren't really DR scalps. They were just, kind of that intuition scalps, right? So I call it my the gut scalps. So anyway, so let's talk about DR today. We had let's go range wise. We had a 20-point range. All right. If you notice here, we took out sell side before DR even formed that weekly sell side. We had a monthly sell side down here, which came into really started to impact what was happening down here, at least from my perspective. So let's talk about what that looked like and what we actually did today. And you guys let me know what you did today. All right, how did you trade and all that good stuff? All right, I've been doing a lot of talking, and would love to hear from some of the folks that are subscribed to the channel as to what they did on that kind of daily basis. All right, well that's DR or not. Let's talk about it and see if we can help each other out. All right, so again, here we had this move for the setup. Wasn't anything that's going to give me any kind of bias, so wasn't too worried about that part. Now, we went back up and retested that sell side that we had taken out pre-market, and then we start coming back down. Okay, fine. Here's the problem that I had. Okay, and this is why I was very, very cautious today, and didn't take a lot of trades in the morning, because if you look at where the DR is, all right, DR low, right above that is IDR low, right? Basically a quarter point away from each other. Right below that is this monthly sell side. All right, so remember, the bigger, the higher the time frame, the more powerful those are. So a monthly sell side to me is something that I'm looking for it to, act as once it's taken out and liquidity is eaten up, I'm expecting it to go back up this way. All right. So what's our problem with that? Well, from a DR perspective, we want price to retrace and then come back down this way. Okay. And so, as we're looking for that, it's tough to identify when to get into a trade with that kind of setup, right? Because you're being cautious here, expecting, this and then this, but not necessarily in that order or not necessarily in that location. So if I was doing pure DR today, we confirmed low on this candle, we reached down into that sell side, monthly sell side, and then we actually did come back up and retrace on that little green candle. You look at it, was definitely it's just a wick that went above that. Okay, so if you were being, super aggressive, or if you were just following all the DR rules, at least the ladder rules, you'd have had an order on here, but you could see you wouldn't have been able to get much out of it. Let's say that's 43.98. This comes down to about 43.96. That's like 2 points right there. That's it. Okay, and then price rejects or reverses off of that, comes back up, and if I'm in at 43.98, now I would not have gotten stopped out yet. Now what I would be looking at is up here we had a fair value gap bearish. Okay, so if I was in this trade, one of the things I would have looked at is that would have been kind of my end of the road type of situation, because what I mean by that is if we would have went up here and went back into that fair value gap, I would expect the price to reverse off of it this way. Okay, that's that, because that's a bearish one, and so that would have put me at risk of, let's see, would I have been stopped out at that point? So let's say 43.98. Oh yeah, we got stopped out a long time ago. So we wouldn't even made it up there. We'd actually got stopped out on these candles. Okay, so today was just one of those days where, kind of frustrating in the morning. And the only thing I'll say is I was, smart enough to really respect that sell side. right? Because otherwise I would have definitely gotten stopped out because, 2 points here or 2 points here. And then you can see we have other opportunities to jump in to trades, which also would have done the same thing, right? So with another one here, you could have gotten in. Now you could have got in here and you would have been okay. You would have gotten, if you got in on that IDR here, and you could have taken that down a little bit. So that's maybe, 4 points or so you could have gotten off of that. So, again, not bad, but you'd have had to work the trade, not just let it play itself out. Okay, again, another entry here, which would again kind of give you a small win. Now, so you guys can see what happened there. I mean, this is, it did it like 4 times in a row, and it wouldn't go, like we had these equal lows right down here, and it wouldn't go below that, right? So, you could have gotten fooled once, but then not fooled again, right? Now, this is probably the only place where you'd have gotten stopped out, right? Because you put a trade on here, take it down, it went back to that trade again. So like if you got in here, went back up to that same spot, so you'd have been even, a little bit negative, come back down again, back to the same spot again, right? So even though you'd have been stuck in a bad trade or a hard trade, it wouldn't have stopped you out because your stop out is up here. Okay, so that's the only saving grace on these. But you'd have had to got out of that trade, right? That's what we're talking about. You'd have to manage the trade versus wait for it to, get 5 points or whatever you're looking for. Because then you actually, we have this move that comes back up. Now here's where it gets fun and interesting. Okay, so remember that fair value gap that was over here? Okay, this thing hasn't been taken out yet. So extend that all the way out over here. And I'm drawing a line on the screen. Hope you guys can keep up with it. All right. So that fair value gap extends all the way over there. And that's a bearish one, right? So price is going to go this way. Okay. So once it goes back up here, 2 things happen. It goes back into that fair value gap. And right at the top of that fair value gap, bearish, is this blue line, 0.5 fib. Okay. And so let me clear this out so you guys can see it. Okay. So 0.5 fib is here. And we also have that fair value gap, same spot. Okay. So this is the only place I actually took a trade today. All right. Because I have 2 areas of confluence I'm looking for. I'm looking for price because price confirmed low. So I'm looking for opportunity to go that way. Okay. Bearish fair value gap. Price wants to go that way. So I have confluence now. So I'm comfortable taking a trade. Now, what I did do, because if you look at where, if I make this a little bigger, I'll gotta zoom in for you guys. If you look at where price went up to, it really ticked that 0.5 fib. It did go above it, but again, that's so fast. You're not, I didn't get it there. Okay. Because we were doing this, wick thing again. And so it wasn't something I was trying to get into. So what I ended up doing was, remember I thought when I use fair value gaps, I like to put my order on at the bottom of the fair value gap. So I did put an order at the bottom of the fair value gap, right? I think it actually was on this candle, this first green candle, okay? And so, no, I'm sorry. No, I didn't do that. That's when I started paying attention to it. When I got this red candle came up here, the wicked up there, and that's where I put my order on at the bottom of the fair value gap, right? Because then at that point I had taken out, or had touched at least the 0.5 fib. I went back up to it again, no big deal. Came down again, just getting down, a couple points, back up to it again, and then it finally starts to move down, okay? So with this trade, I was able to get 10 points off of this one, okay? So got in right around 44.05 and got back out at 95. So let it play itself out. Oops. All the way down. And again, I saw that sell side again, so I started getting a little cautious, like it's going to want to turn back around. So once it got down to, again, it hit 10 points, and I was like, okay, good, I'm out. All right. Now, I did have to sit through some reverses here. So again, you see these wicks that went up, right? So now I had locked, at that point, I'm at about, 3 points maybe locked in here. So it is what it is. I was willing to let it go back up to to even or even a little negative because again I was really frustrated today. And thing was I actually worked at home today, so I had opportunities to actually look at the market a little bit more. And so this whole morning to me was just a waste. All right. So anyway, so that is the story. You can see price, came back up again, and then it starts to move back down again. I didn't play that trade at all. The last one I looked at, I didn't trade it because I was pretty much done for the day. You see, we come here like around 3 o'clock, and again, I don't like to usually trade after 3 o'clock because it gets a little wonky. But you had some opportunities here, you had an opportunity there, or you had opportunities here to take some of these moves down. Okay, so all in all, from a DR perspective, rough day in the morning, to me anyway. Very rough day, and the afternoon was good. Got me what I needed from a DR perspective, and so using multiple strategies again at fair value gaps and looking at sell side. Those are helpful. Those are really ICT type concepts, but they're helpful in kind of structuring how I'm trading this DR when it comes to that way, right? Because I think not yesterday, day before when I had the last video, we had a fair value gap right at the price at the DR, but that was we wanted price to come down the other day, but that was a bearish fair value gap, so price was supposed to come down, okay? Whereas here we had bullish fair value gaps, and it just was it was too much, and then we also had again that sell side, a monthly sell side, which is heavy duty, and that normally to me that means the price is going to want to reverse because that means liquidity is being taken out, which is kind of what we saw here. All that's liquidity being grabbed, and then price wants to start moving back up. All right, so hope this was helpful. Again, sorry I missed you guys yesterday. Just I want to make a video just to make a video. It wasn't much to talk about, but again, hope you guys had a great day, and again, let me know how you're doing. If DR is helping you out. This week has been rough on a DR standpoint. You have to really kind of be either scalping or just really paying attention and being aggressive on your trades. And some weeks it's like that, right? Some weeks it's just easy and price just does what it's supposed to do, and it's just you set it and forget it, right? And then weeks like this, you got to actually pay attention. So hopefully you guys are able to do that, and hopefully these are helpful. Let me know. And other than that, I will talk to you guys. Hopefully we have some good trades tomorrow. We'll see what happens. All right. Don't forget, love on your loved ones. You never know, you won't be able to do it again. So take advantage of those opportunities, and we will see you. God bless.